let's completely rethink how we look at NotebookLM. If we just treat it like another simple chatbot, blindly asking it to summarize documents, it turns out we're actually missing out on a massive paradigm shift. Today's explainer is going to pull back the curtain on the incredibly high-stakes world of professional AI research. This is a space where the rules of engagement are entirely different, and the standards for data fidelity are just absolute. We're going to look at exactly how the pros operate and how we can apply those exact same rigorous standards to our own workflows.
Right now, major tech platforms, think Outlier, Appen, TELUS, they're paying senior data professionals $50 an hour, sometimes way more, to do something that sounds really counterintuitive on the surface. And to be clear, they are not paying these higher rates for lightning-fast typing speeds, and they certainly aren't paying for basic prompt engineering. They're paying top dollar for a fundamentally different relationship with data, a relationship that is built on extreme skepticism.
Okay, let's dive into this. Highly paid RLHF specialists, that's reinforcement learning from human feedback, like the creator from our source material, who literally audited over 5,000 technical documents, they routinely take perfectly correct, factually accurate AI outputs and just throw them straight in the trash. Sounds totally crazy at first glance, right? I mean, why intentionally discard a correct answer? What possible benefit is there in rejecting the truth? Well, to understand why the pros do this, we first need to look at what's holding most everyday users back.
The junior mistake. This is the main roadblock keeping casual users from hitting that senior pro tier, and it all stems from a profound misunderstanding of the software's underlying architecture. So the classic junior workflow goes exactly like this. You take a massive, chaotic PDF, you dump it into the prompt box, ask for a quick TLDR summary, and essentially treat the whole thing like a magic 8-ball, just trusting the output blindly. Now, it feels super productive in the moment, sure, but asking a probabilistic model to do deterministic work through a generic summary, that is the ultimate illusion of productivity.
Improv versus the court stenographer.
And this brilliantly illustrates the core issue. Summarization fundamentally requires lossy compression. The AI is forced to synthesize, compress, and rephrase things in its own words, which naturally introduces a massive margin for error. And in the professional world, that translates directly to real-world liability. AI companies are absolutely terrified of hallucinations. If an AI misquotes a clinical trial or invents a legal precedent out of thin air just to make a summary flow better, the financial and legal risks are astronomical. So think of standard generative AI as a brilliant improv actor on stage. Its only goal is to keep the scene going, confidently predicting the next token to sound highly plausible based on a giant ocean of unverified internet data. Yes, but source-grounded AI, which is what NotebookLM is actually engineered to be, must act like a strict, unsmiling court stenographer. It is rigidly tethered to the official record and is only permitted to read back exact verbatim citations.
And that brings us to the professional standard of source grounding. This means ensuring that every single claim the AI makes is backed by a verifiable citation pointing directly to a specific paragraph in your uploaded text. It's not about getting a fast answer, it's about getting an auditable one. Senior pros don't want a breezy summary. They use NotebookLM strictly as a targeted retrieval system to verify the supply chain of every single sentence. And that relies heavily on human feedback and constant RLHF auditing to maintain that standard.
The containment breach. So how is this strict data fidelity mechanically enforced in the real world? It's done by human evaluators who score these models side by side, guarding against what is essentially a containment breach. They enforce this through a zero-tolerance policy called the grounding rule. This rule is absolute. If an answer doesn't have a citation, it violates data integrity. Period. There's no gray area here. Even universally accepted, completely undeniable facts will fail this test instantly if they lack a direct citation back to your specific source architecture.
Let's look at a specific case study that highlights this exact tension. Imagine you upload a set of highly technical and incredibly dense thruster schematics for the Apollo 11 moon landing. You ask the system a question about the mission, and the AI casually mentions that Neil Armstrong was the first man to walk on the moon. Now, obviously, that is a completely true fact in the real world, but Neil Armstrong's name isn't written anywhere in those specific thruster schematics.
So let's test this understanding with a quick technical quiz. If NotebookLM gives an answer like that, a completely true fact but without a source citation, is it grounded? The answer is a definitive no. AI trainers have to penalize that Neil Armstrong answer, because it broke containment. By pulling from its general pre-training rather than the uploaded document, the model learned it was acceptable to silently bypass the source material. If you don't penalize that true but ungrounded fact today, tomorrow it's going to use that exact same mechanism to confidently hallucinate a total falsehood. The chain of custody must remain completely unbroken.
The ETL mindset.
So, how do high-tier professionals physically set up their workspace to prevent these containment breaches from happening in the first place? Well, they shift from passive prompting to active engineering. As the source material points out, loading data into the AI is exactly like prepping a room to paint. If you just dump chaotic, unformatted PDFs, corrupted tables, and irrelevant glossaries into NotebookLM, it's literally like slapping expensive paint over peeling wallpaper. The system breaks that garbage down into vector embeddings, the semantic search gets completely confused by fragmented context windows, and the AI is forced to start hallucinating just to fill in the gaps.
To avoid this disaster, professionals adopt what's called an ETL mindset: extract, transform, load. This is a rigid, highly structured engineering concept, usually reserved for massive corporate data pipelines and server farms. But here, it's applied directly to manual AI research. NotebookLM is simply the extraction engine, but it only works reliably if you have done the loading and the transforming correctly beforehand.
Here is that rigorous ETL scaffolding in action. First, you meticulously clean and curate the raw text for the load phase. So we're fixing OCR errors, reformatting tables, stripping out irrelevant appendices, the whole shebang. Next, you optimize your notebook guide to transform how the system reads the data, writing highly specific system instructions on how to parse your formatting. Only then do you extract the retrieved, perfectly cited data. High-paying roles treat NotebookLM like SQL or business intelligence tools, where the human is the architect, building a perfectly clean, walled garden. Data integrity is your career. Adopting this strict, closed-loop ETL rigor completely transforms your professional output, even if you don't work for an AI company. Just think about your Monday morning strategy meetings. By cleaning your data and demanding strict citations, you instantly transition from a passive consumer to an active, reliable auditor. So, the crucial point is, what's the operational difference between generative AI and source-grounded AI? Generative AI is a plausible guessing game, pulling from an unverified ocean of data. Source-grounded AI is professional data fidelity, locking every single generated token to a verifiable citation.
But all of this leads to a massive, looming implication. Right now, our economic value in this ecosystem, those high-paying hourly rates we talked about earlier, relies entirely on the fact that the AI fundamentally lacks the capacity to reliably police its own attention mechanism. It needs a human bottleneck to be the strict teacher constantly tapping the ruler on the chalkboard. We are literally getting paid to be the guardrails.
Which leaves us with this provocative final thought. What happens to this entire professional auditing economy when the model's internal architecture becomes perfectly capable of auditing its own grounding without us? When the machine learns to strictly enforce its own citations with mathematically perfect rigor, the board completely flips. But until that day comes, the mechanics are sitting right in front of you. So are you going to keep treating AI like a junior toy, or are you ready to start building your data architecture like a professional?